I'm Charlotte. Welcome back to my Who is Jesus series, a series that I started with the desire to help people who don't know who Jesus is to find out about them. And this, for me, is the most important thing that I can do on this planet, is to help people to know about Jesus. My video series is targeted to women. I want to be able to give biblical encouragement to women. So I hope that you are ready to join me as we continue reading in Matthew 12. It's a big chapter. We're almost finished now. So let's continue with Matthew chapter 12. Jesus has had hard words to say to the Pharisees. We've been reading some of the things that he has said as he has rebuked them and as he has warned them. And, they really should have believed him because they studied the prophecies about him. And somehow it didn't make sense to them when they actually saw him live. They were so concerned about so many details that they thought, this is not right, this is not the way it's supposed to be. But in fact, all of the things that were prophesied about Jesus came to pass, and they clearly show that he is who he is. So let's continue reading in Matthew chapter 12, verses 43 to 45 is going to give another warning. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return unto my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he, and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. So I think what we have to think about here, because this is a difficult passage, I think there are 2 things we need to think about. This is referring again to what has just happened previously, that Jesus cast a demon out of a man who clearly it was visible that a change had happened to him because he had not been able to speak or hear before that. And so there was this miracle of healing as well and restoration of his body. And because the Pharisees then accused Jesus that it was by the power of Satan that he was casting out this demonic spirit, which would also be one of Satan's cohorts, I see that he is coming back to this again. He's talked about it, and he's coming back to this issue again. And it is also that it is a warning about the condition of their hearts. So Jesus has warned the Pharisees multiple times. And now I believe that this is giving them a picture of their spiritual state. That they may think that they have themselves all cleaned up, but really, because they have not received what he has brought to them about the truth of God the Father and the kingdom of heaven, then their spiritual condition is not what they think it is. And he's warning them that if they don't take in what he is bringing to them and ultimately receive the Holy Spirit, the condition that they're going to end up in is going to be horrible. And, Jesus was able to see the heart attitude of people. He knew what was going on in their mind. He knew how they were thinking and perceiving things about him. He could see if they believed or didn't believe him. And so he responded with compassion to every person who had the faith to believe in him. And he responded with warnings to those who didn't have the faith to believe in him, but acted like they were in right standing in God's eyes. He had to show clearly the condition of the heart. That is a warning to know what is going on inside of your heart. That is the kindness and compassion of God to let you know that he sees what's in there. But he will take everyone back who comes to him and asks him for forgiveness and says, I turn away from that. That's what repenting is. You turn away from that and you return to God. So this is an extremely strong warning. But let's finish out the chapter. Verse 46 to 50. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. So I think what Jesus wants to show now is that believing in him means we get born again. By being born again, we become part of a family that's not our earthly flesh and blood family. It is a heavenly family, and it's huge. And that Jesus sees us as the same standing as a mother, brothers, sisters. He calls us that. We are now children of God because we have believed him, received him. We have been born again by the Spirit, and we've now entered into his family. So that is a good encouragement to end after so many warnings to the Pharisees. It's a good encouragement to know how Jesus sees us. So thank you for joining me. Until next time.